So you get the diagnosis, and then what? You still got to do the stuff. The doctor's not going to do the stuff. Kelly's not going to do the stuff. Deanna's not going to do the stuff. So this is stuff you can do now. It doesn't cost you anything but time. If you go for the quick thing of Kelly's, it's like $10, which is like half the price of a half hour listening to me ramble. And I even myself, between the prepping the pathways and all the things that I've learned from this community, every little piece goes into my puzzle, and I'm not saying I do just this or just that, but I'm noticing I'm really conscious of my breathing lately. So if I can say and I should be, because I'm teaching other people how to do it, for crying out loud. So, but it's something you can empower yourself with today if that's where it starts. And I always talk about getting assimilated, or give it the same chance you'd give a pill. Give it 30 days. Don't assume you need to take on more. Don't assume you need to change. Oh, I only did a minute today, so I'm going to do an hour tomorrow. Just like the vibration plate, give yourself time to get used to this. And if the 21-day thing, it takes 21 days to make or break a habit, it takes a conscious effort, even just on the breathing, to get into the habit of your body going, okay, we're doing it this way now, not that way, right? So there's a lot of simplicity in these lessons, but the wealth of how those simple lessons are going to translate to whatever therapies you're doing, is it's just going to explain things in a different way to your brain. That's what I'm finding since I've started embracing this.
And
So
you'll probably find that you have more time when you have more energy and you're not handling the chronic issues. Suddenly your time opens up, and it's hard to even, when you're in it, it's hard to imagine that, because when we're managing pain, we're surviving. When you start to feel your body thriving, you've gained time. And I mean, Kelly, like the fact that, yeah, you've got 4 kids, you've homeschooled, you've done all this, and amidst that, you've done this, like it blows my mind. But you will gain more time in your day when you have the energy, which comes with breathing. Yeah.
Yeah, I think breath is important, and that's one reason that sampler program is a great start,
I
because
got to
you
jump
just
off now. Thank
all
you
right.
so
Thank
much
you.
for
thank you,
having
Deanna.
me. Take care, everyone. Thanks for your time.
We've dropped all of Kelly's. I dropped them again. So a link to her site, the block page, and where to get the block and those things. I want to. You can get the block. I still have to order the block, but I do want to stress. You don't. This is one. You don't need to spend a dime on things. If you're going to spend any money on getting started, $10 on the short one is my recommendation. If that's not doable, there are 4 sessions that Kelly walked me through, different groups of muscles in February. I will repost those as well. And I'll put those in where we shared the Zoom stuff today, until we get the recording out. Because if you're motivated, I'd love you to get started today. Cool.
That would be good. And you
Anything
can
else, Miss Kel?
get started just with a towel, and just breathe in, breathe out longer than you breathe in and out through your nose, and slow your breath down, and just allow yourself. You have to allow yourself to relax. Allow yourself to breathe. Lay there and breathe. Because I think a lot of us are so caught up in do all the things, all the things, all the things. And honestly, I started healing when I quit obligating myself to do all the things, like every single therapy that every single person recommended. You have to find what's going to work for you. And you can do a lot of all the things, but if you do something that addresses your health at a cellular level, which the vibration plate addresses your health at the cellular level, that is one reason it's effective. Block therapy addresses your health at a cellular level. It addresses your lipedema at a cellular level. Yes, athletes use it. Other people use it. It's for anyone, but especially with a chronic condition like lipedema, where it is your connective tissue that has gone crazy. Focused breathing with pressure over time, calming yourself down, and giving yourself permission to just be. instead of judging yourself and stressing out and having a long list of stuff you have to do because someone else said you had to, is it's going to be a gift that you give yourself.
I'm going to raise a little focus. There's a conversation going, Tori, and thank you, Amanda, for answering. But anxiety has become a big issue for Tori, and I think it's a common question I get as well. Wondering if this will help. I think it's a given it will, but how does it help with that, Kel?
It helps because fascia it makes up every single part of your body. You have more of nerve endings in your fascia than in what people call your nervous system.
Yep.
And so if you take a towel or take the block and you place it on your belly, your diaphragm, on the sides of your ribs, up into your chest, the side, like lay with pressure, this whole chain of your vagus nerve is going to go from like way up here to a range where your body can function. It's going to calm you down in a way that just you telling yourself to calm down, it's going to be completely different. And Amanda jumped in because I told her to lay on the block. And you're thinking you're going to lay on a piece of wood and it's going to calm you down. And she's like, is it normal? She's saying, I fell asleep. I fall asleep on the block almost every single night. Almost every single night. I put it, I don't know if you can see. I put it like here. Those with boobs, you have to move them up. On the where your ribs connect here, you can do it with a towel. You can do it with your hands on your back. But your vagus nerve runs through the middle of your chest down, and we stress it out all day long. It regulates your immune system. It regulates your nervous system. And addressing that vagus nerve, settling your vagus nerve is going to change your thought patterns. It's going to change all that stuff that's just your mind racing and your tension and your high blood pressure and your high heart rate and this tension that you have all through your shoulders and your back. It's going to change it, because if you change the way your nervous system is operating, it's going to change. It's a chain reaction. Your nervous system is what's keeping you in that pattern, like tense pattern. So if you change all of that, it's going to change everything else. And then when you do some sort of therapy, your body will react differently because it will be able to accept it. Even if you're doing a 2-minute vibration plate session or a 3-minute blocking session, and change can happen in those 2 or 3 minutes, because these kinds of modalities, I'm cutting off my head still. These kinds of modalities are like profound and powerful, right? But it can only do so much if your nervous system is keeping you operating way up here. All of that benefit won't reach all those cells unless you're in a relaxed mode where your body can accept the changes, the little micro changes on the cellular level. Your body has to be in a state to be receptive to those. And so when we do a series of like 3 minutes of a towel on your belly, on your diaphragm, on the sides of your body here, even up here where your lymph is, you can lay on a towel in this area. I made Debbie sore from just holding a towel in her armpit, y'all, for 3 minutes. A towel. The goal is not to be sore, but it just shows there, if you are intentional and you are focused and you calm down, the impact on your body is real. And so every night almost before bed, I will do side ribs, like up higher, and a little bit lower diaphragm belly, and sometimes up here. Our shoulders are locked forward. This is holding tension. It's putting pressure on the lymph. It's putting pressure on the vagus nerve. If you will use a towel like on this pec muscle that runs here, you can just squish it under your arm. It'll put pressure here. It will release your shoulders. It'll release the tension in the back of your neck. It's just crazy how something very simple can affect the whole way you operate and hold yourself and walk through life.
The last YouTube link I dropped was the session where Kelly hurt my arm and walked me through that first series. I'll get once we close the window, of course, the chat's going to disappear. So I'll get some of these up today. But Amanda says Tori is my sister-in-law, but is my sister. Oh, awesome. We have sisters here today. Thank you guys for being here. I need to experience this calm. The idea of it brings tears to my eyes. And again, Tori, here's my 2 cents. Like I say, I've known Kelly longer than most, and I'm kind of obsessed with Kelly because many of you may not be aware, but she's one of the few people that doesn't do so good on a vibration plate. It triggers migraines, and maybe we need to revisit that. So I've kind of always been obsessed of understanding everything else that she's doing to manage her life because the vibration plate isn't one of her components. Vibration is, she uses massage guns and other things, but I'm talking like physically standing on the plate, and even seated one time tipped her over the edge, but she's always willing to try. And but yeah, we've spoken at least 4 or 5 times a year in some capacity in a Zoom call, and I've just really noticed the last year the energy's there, the mental clarity's there, the reserves on the energy are there, and 9 times out of 10 she's actually following back, Debbie, is this done yet? Versus me saying, are you okay? Is it a bet? And you know, there's no saying this the right way. It's like people say to me all the time, oh, you look tired. Well, just tell me I look like shit. I know how we process it, but you know, I never really noticed the fatigue until I saw the energy, right? You know, and I see, you know, that it's not uncommon for those of you that have booked a call with me. Sometimes I always say if you ever need to change things, I understand the capacity isn't there, but Kelly, I'm seeing her not only energized, but I'm seeing patterns in her life where, you know, you don't know her whole story the past year, but she's gone from being cared for to caring for everything and still had time to finish the certification you've been working on, I know for years, but a lot's come to fruition in the last 6 months to a year. You know, not only in your confidence and how you speak of it, but you know, just you know, a year ago we're still looking at notes and you're flipping through here and look, and now you just talk freely. It speaks to the consistency, and I think you know, like Deanna said, you can't look at what you know she's doing at year 10 because she's built up to that. But I found some of the stuff Kelly doing too much for me, not because I'm you know I'm in a different stage with my lipedema. I'm in fairly good health, but I've never done block therapy. So regardless of you know your stage or however you look at yourself, this is a new therapy, and just like I teach with vibration plates or saunas or any of the modalities we're using, give the body time to integrate and don't do a whole bunch of things at once. So if you are going to start this block therapy and the basics of it, learn this modality on its own. Understand how your body responds, how you respond. Before you throw in a whole, you know, don't start this and the vibration plate and the red light panel and the diet simultaneously. You know, integrate it on its own and learn your boundaries and ways to progress before you integrate other things into it. That would be my lecture. Cool. Who else is here? I think we're good. I don't see any more questions for today, and I want to thank you, Tori, for bringing up the anxiety thing. I think anxiety sometimes is one of those list of symptoms that comes from a lot of different places, but it also can come strictly from living in that state of physical stress. It becomes a relationship that you have, right? You know, it's this ever-present force in your life, and sometimes anxiety feels like our normal, and the new stress comes from the new normal. So to your point, don't beat yourself up. I want you guys looking through the windshield, not the rear view mirror. And again, I'm finding myself being mindful of just the simplest little breathing things. It's made a big difference when I instead of me, I show my stress maybe differently than you, but um I find myself, take a breath, breathe before you open your mouth, Debbie, in my own life. And I'm finding the breathing things that you've taught me, even though there's no right or wrong, but there's more effective sometimes. And I think that's what you've pointed out to me on a personal basis.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So the anxiety can really be crippling. And one of the things I really love about block therapy is it has a meditative aspect. And you can't really understand that until you actually sit in it and do it. And then you're like, oh, wow, this is calming me. It's settling me. I used to lay in bed and like have insomnia because my thoughts are just racing and I obsess and I overthink and I do all those things. And now, if I lay there for more than about 10 minutes and I can't sleep, I just grab the block, do the diaphragm, and I almost fall asleep every night, like within 5 or 10 minutes.
That's awesome. That's
It
huge. If
just,
you're not sleeping, any of the work you're doing during the day isn't being implemented.
yeah, it just settles. But we've been almost 2 hours. So I'm going to say the sampler program is great. $9, you get 9 modules and you do them at your own pace. Reach out, especially the day that is on your knees, especially if you have mobility issues. Don't just say, I'm not going to do that. It's a class that addresses your calves. That is extremely important. So don't just skip it. Reach out. There are alternate ways to address that part of your body. If you have other questions, you can go. I have FAQs on my website,
I dropped that
wildheart.health.
in the conversation.
I have that. And I mean, you can email me if you have a question you just want to answer. But there is hope. You don't have to have surgery. You don't have to get on medications that you don't want to take just to address where your body is right now. I'm not addressing whatever doctor you have with some other condition where you need meds. That's not in my, I mean, I can't do that. But what I'm saying is you don't have to jump into all those other things if you don't feel comfortable. Just know that there's hope wherever you find yourself in your health journey. There's hope.
You can empower yourself today. I think part of what I've learned from you guys as a community is, as far as the patient advocacy side versus the doctor side is, some of the littlest things go the longest way. And, there's nothing that does more for your mental health, the stress, the anxiety, than feeling like you've actually accomplished something today. What we need to stop doing is measuring the task. Sometimes change is hard, and the subtlest of changes can be a huge success and a huge benefit moving forward. So thank you for this awesome chat. Thank you everybody for joining. Sandra, Leona, Amanda, Callie, Marla still here, Tori's still here. We will get the recording together into one flow and add some links here probably mid to later this week.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.